My name is Michaela Allison, and I'm the founder of Someone Like You. We're going to see you soon. We're going to help you gather the tools that you need to put your best foot forward.
Hi, my name is Emma Burt. I'm a community ambassador for Silly. I'm so excited to see you all and work on interview skills and sharing your strengths.
Hi everybody, my name is Shanae Jabia and welcome to Explore Your Future. We're going to have so much fun.
Hi, my name is Lily Kate Bletzer and I'm 7 years old and I can't wait to meet you all.
Hey everyone, welcome to Explore Your Future. My name is Brian Johnson and I'm the co-owner of Brian Johnson Photo. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most common questions we get asked, and that is, what do I wear and how do I present myself for our professional headshot? Now we're going to talk about clothing. Clothing is one of the most important and crucial pieces to your headshot. Clothing is one of the first things your employer, future employer, or friends, family are going to see. Clothing is also the last thing they're going to see. There are several different things in regards to the clothing that you should consider. Long sleeve versus short. Now it is my preference, and it is also the preference of the majority of people that I've spoken to, that we don't wear short sleeves for headshots. One of the ways that we can go about this is, if you do have short sleeves on, just bring a sport coat, put it on over top. If you have a t-shirt, sport coat, put it on over top. It'll look just fine. Now the next thing you need to consider about your clothing is the type of pattern. Usually you want to avoid many distracting patterns that may occur in clothing. As you can see, the shirt that I've got on right now has a simple pattern to it and should avoid the weird staticky type transition when it goes from real life to image. In this video you might see it move back and forth randomly, but whenever we do still images of something so subtle like this, it should come out just fine. Patterns that we want to avoid are something like this. Stay away from the nice plaids, the bright colors that may have some of that paisley in it. These types of patterns really are distracting and take away from the actual headshot, which is the purpose of this, and put it into a clothing shot. Color is another thing that you need to take into consideration when picking your clothing for your headshots. The color you choose should be something that's complementary to you. You don't want to choose a very light color if you have a very light skin complexion. And the same thing if you have a dark skin complexion, you want to avoid darker colors. It is smart to choose some of the more neutral colors, so your dark grays, your browns, your tans, things like that. If you do choose to use a light or a white type shirt, it's always good to complement it with a darker overtone. And what I have here is just a lighter shirt. It's got a little bitty pattern, but if I were to wear something like this, I would simply just put over a vest or a sport coat, and that would create a little bit of dimension for the image. Now we're going to talk about some of the things you should avoid when choosing the clothing for your headshots. One of the things that we see a lot is logos. When you have logos on your shirts, you're basically telling your audience that you belong to one of those logos. Now what I have here is a Special Olympics shirt with a Nike swoosh on it. If I'm applying for either Special Olympics or Nike, this could be okay. However, in most cases, we're not only applying at one or two places, we're looking at many places. Another thing you want to avoid are bright colors. And bright colors like red. Red have a tendency to play on the mind, warning and stop. And the last thing you want to do is tell an employer that you're telling them warning, stop to your photo. To recap on the clothing choice for your headshots, just remember to choose something that has low pattern or less pattern. Something that's a neutral color, stay away from the bright colors, and also the pattern, the major patterns like plaids, and logos. These are the things that you don't want to necessarily have on your shirts when you're doing your headshot, because they can just take away from your image. The next thing I always like to tell people is jewelry. Jewelry is okay for headshots. If you wear earrings, wear them. If you wear a necklace, it's okay. And if you wear watches, wear it. Just remember that this image is what people are going to see. Now when you do your hair, there really are no rules as far as doing the style. However, one of the three things that we tell people is make sure that your hair is washed, brushed, and styled. Now, facial hair is something that's kind of unique, and it's made its way back into our society. It's okay to have a big, huge, glorious beard like the one you see before you. It's just not okay to have a big, huge, glorious beard that's sticking out in 17 different directions. So make sure that if you do have facial hair that you keep it trimmed and nicely groomed, especially on headshot and interview day. Now, to wrap this video up, I wanted to talk to you about a few items that I bring with me to every headshot and interview, and more so as a consumer, not the photographer. Now, any good photography company are going to have these types of items, but I call these my survival kits. Anytime I go to a headshot or an interview, I make sure that I always have a lint roller. You never know what you're going to have on you. Dog hair, cat hair, human hair, something might show up, dirt. The lint roller has saved me many, many times. Combs for your beards if you have facial hair, and oil. You always want to make sure you have those on hand. It does not look good when you walk in and you have dandruff and stuff like that coming out of your beard. It is a problem that I deal with, but I always combat it with a good dose of oil right before an interview. And finally, a mirror. One of the things that really bugs me the most is if I have a booger hanging out and nobody there to tell me. Also, as a man, the older I get, what I'm finding out is the longer my nose hairs grow. So a mirror allows me to go ahead and find those items, remove those items, so I can look at the interviewer or the photographer without them staring at those items. Now, for the females watching this video, a lot of the principles that we discussed for the men also apply for the women. We want to make sure that less skin is better type mantra. Now we want to make sure we go higher on top, lower on bottom. Make sure that our cuts on our shirts are a little bit higher, and our skirts, if we wear them, are a little bit lower. Again, it's a professional image thing, and it's also about knowing your audience too. Now, when you're applying your makeup, just make sure that you're sticking to neutral colors. You don't want to overpower who you are as a person. You want to make sure that they're looking at you and not your makeup. So stick to your neutral colors. You can go ahead and apply some mascara, some blush, and something around the lips or on the lips. But more than that, it's okay to go ahead and just keep it there. So again, our rule is keep it simple when you're applying your makeup. Now, we didn't talk about the bottoms or the things that you wear below the shirt for your headshot, simply because we don't typically do headshots of the full body. Now, when you do walk into your interview, you want to make sure that those bottoms do match the top and also match the audience. So if you're wearing a suit and tie, make sure that the bottoms match the suit and tie. Dark colored jeans are appropriate in most cases, but try to stick to some of your more professional slacks. And things to avoid for your interview as far as clothing goes, we always try to tell people no shorts and no holey jeans. I know that they're in right now and they are a nice look. However, for the interview and stuff like that, that does draw attention. Again, less skin is better. Anytime skin is showing, that tends to be where the human eye travels, so just try to avoid those types of things. Once again, my name is Brian Johnson with Brian Johnson Photo. We're all looking forward to meeting you, and thank you for signing up for Explore Your Future.